All right. Oh, big game from Nurgle's PA and Segos. Warriors of Chaos versus the High Elves. Segos' High Elves build is pretty standard stuff in this matchup, so I'll cover it quickly. We do have two Rangers. Don't see a ton of them. They usually kind of suck and die. But White Lines of Christ and Spearmen is fine. Then having some Archers is fine. And then you have Imrik, a Healing Caster, and some Cavalry. Two Illyrian Reavers and the Fireborn being that Cavalry. We do have a... Wow. Okay, what the fuck? Awakening of the Wood. That's a weird spell to bring here, but okay, Segos. Okay. On the other side, we have Marauders and Chaos Warriors mixed throughout the front line. Some have great weapons, some don't. We have two Chaos Feral Manticores, a Chaos Sorcerer of Tzeentch with only blue fire, Valkia the Bloody with her Spear Sleipnir. And we're throwing out a Breath Attack on some Marauders. We're going to ignore that. Two Chaos Knights, and then three Marauder Horsemen, one of which is a Horseman Master. So Chaos has a better mobility core, better single entities since there are four of them. High Elves have Archers at all, which the enemy doesn't have, and then they have a way better front line. Cool. Archers turning to counterfire against the Skirmish Cav. The Skirmish Cav gets some good shots on Illyrian Reavers. And then a Blue Fire does... Honestly, Blue Fire things I haven't seen for a while, but it kind of does that thing where it goes through multiple models in an enemy unit and does decent damage. Ever since its nerf in the last patch, it's more of a single entity sniping tool. So I'd like to see them just cast it over and over again on Imrik. I know he has Missile and Fire Resist, but it's still a worthwhile target. Because you know he's going to get heal capped in this game, so you might as well start it. Illyrian Reavers crushed on the charge with Chaos Knights, but the Fireborn are holding much better, plus Lord of Dragons lowering their stats even further, and Imrik himself is going to join in the fight, but a side shot from the Blue Fire of Tzeentch does so much damage to the Fireborn, and they are going to start to get a regrowth here. Dragonhorn is popped to give all of the High Elves a little bit more melee stats, and that should mean the death of this front line for Chaos. Honestly, the High Elves should decimate that front line. And while this Chaos Knight is getting massacred by the Fireborn, now the single entity squad is joining against Imrik, but the back line is open. Some Illyrian Reavers get caught up on Marauder Horsemasters, which is really bad for the Marauder Horsemasters and Horsemen, but these other guys should get in on the Archers and shut them down. A Blue Fire is casting the Archers, but it's not nearly as devastating as the one that went down the Fireborn. With an overcasted regrowth, the Fireborn, you would be forgiven for not thinking they got hit by anything at all. They look fine as the Spear Sleipnir tickles 3 different units. But this is a Chaos party, and Imrik did not want to be invited. As the Fireborn's heal cap is already within sight, they're still getting worked down by these Manticores and Valkia, and Imrik has to back out of here. One of his Archers is just about shut down, but the Marauder Horsemen are lacking in stats, and the High Elf Archers have them. 26 melee defense versus the 22 melee attack of the Horses. They were doing just fine, and they had Archer support from their other friends to get the damage out. Marauder Horse Masters survived the charge with the Illyrian Reavers, and are now on to the Archers, really trying to shut them down as the Manticores and Valkia continue after Imrik. But Imrik looks like he's just going to stand his ground in the sky. He's maybe hoping for some Archer support here soon, maybe some healing support too, but the Archers are not in position to help him whatsoever. Fireborn trying to chase off the Tzeentch caster, and they do, but Imrik is not winning this 3v1 right now. Looks like he's going to go land. Now, he can be forgiven for his mistakes because of healing, while that Manticore won't get its like 1/3 HP back. And Imrik is, in fact, getting a regrowth. It is overcast as well, so he'll be just fine. Though the overcast did a lot of damage to the Life Mage. Holy crap. More Marauder Horsemen and Horsemasters pushed off, but Chaos Knights have rallied and are once again charging the Archers, trying to take them out, as these other Skirmish Cavs start skirmishing a little bit more with the Illyrian Reavers to kill them. As I had predicted, the High Elf front line overall is doing quite well, though Chaos does have a bit of help from Valkia. We saw our Spear Sleipnir earlier do good work. Imrik's trying to land on Chaos Knights to whittle them down a bit more while he sits in his own spears, hoping that'll save him from the Manticores. And the Tzeentch caster's trying to kill a foot High Elf Mage, which is very, very hard to do, dude. These guys are like the tankiest things in the game. Because they have all the benefits of being a foot character, but they also have 40 melee defense from martial prowess. Chaos Knights routed and almost shatter an Archer, but another Archer is shooting at them in the meantime. Illyrian Reaver is chasing off Nurgle's PA's Skirmish Cav. Now Imrik is stuck fighting 2 Manticores, mostly alone as the Spearmen are so wounded they're just about to rout. Does chuck out a Lord of Dragons onto this Manticore, making it very vulnerable to his attacks, but also the Spearmen coming in, and Dragonhorn gets rid of their fear, giving them a little bit more leadership, and all that melee attack is going to help him kill off these Manticores. So he's routed one, and it looks like the other one is taking decent damage from the Spearmen behind it, and Imrik's turned his focus onto it, so Imrik's trying to put this game on his back. Valkia, however, has shattered the Life Mage, finally taking her out, so there's no more healing for the High Elves, which is brutal for them. Second Archer is routed off. Skirmish Cav surviving for now, though there's some very brave Illyrian Reavers in the distance trying to finish these guys off once and for all. Marauder Horsemasters are on their flank, however. Can the Illyrian Reavers turn around and get a charge? Doesn't look like they're going to get orders in time. They will get downhill charged by the Marauder Horsemasters, and that should be the end of the Illyrian Reavers, despite their valiance. Speaking of valiance, Chaos Knights still trying to fight against Imrik. The High Elves have a lot of infantry left. It's mostly just their infantry. They have some very wounded Fireborn and then a healthy Imrik, but their archers are all doomed. Illyrian Reavers are long since gone. It's just their infantry they're relying on. White Lions, Rangers, some Spearmen, and of course Imrik. I meant like supporting things. For Chaos, they have a couple infantry, but I mean, like, their only real healthy infantry is this random-ass Marauder. As a nasty Spear Slapping goes through 2 of the High Elves units. Oof. Rough. Other than that, they have a Sorcerer of Tzeentch, of course, with Blue Fire that he's casting now onto the Fireborn? No, it's going through some of the High Elf infantry. Anyway, they have Valkia, a Tzeentch caster, a Pharaoh Manticore, and some mobility left in very wounded Skirmish Cav that have a lot of ammo because they've been mostly used as light cav this whole game. The Fireborn fighting some Chaos Warriors with great weapons. Ooh, Chaos Warriors can trade back. All right. Imrik is fighting in the foreground. I'll let you all spectate that while I look at what's going on in the background. Chaos Warriors barely held for a bit, but the Fireborn do prevail. And Chaos Knights and Marauders finally finish off these Spearmen. Archers are maybe going to rout the Skirmish Cav that are attempting to rejoin the fight, just by taking any tickle damage while they're that low on leadership. That could send them out the door. High Elves are trying to regroup. Still have 2 White Lions, a half-health Ranger. Woo, who cares? I don't know. Rangers have wronged me recently. I've lost some games because I took Rangers, so I'm just bitter. I'm bitter and angry. We have a Fireborn and an Archer that are both just, like, too low to matter. Imrik takes a fight in the sky. He really should land right now and get some support from his infantry. I don't know why he's taking this fight all alone. Lord of Dragons nerfs down the Manticore. He gives himself a whole bunch of buffs, big weapon strength from the Star Lance and all these things, but like, he's taking a 3v1 needlessly. He needs to fucking land and get some White Lion support. Now he's landing on the Chaos Knights. I think he's trying to disrupt them so they can't charge his White Lions or anything, because now all of his infantry are coming and they're not going to take a massive charge from the Chaos Knights, but still, I feel like that was brutal. As we mentioned before, the Archers are able to rout off some of the Skirmish Cav just by shooting at them, and they're also routing off Chaos Warriors just by shooting at them, so that Archer barely clinging to life is actually coming in clutch in this late game. Fireborn very low, but clutching to life. Chaos Knights also clutching to life, but they're routing. They'll come back. They have enough HP. They'll come back. The last healthy Marauder for Chaos is gone. Marauder Horsemaster's trying to get in here and deal with these Archers, but Imrik is taking a lot of damage from Valkia and the Tzeentch caster. That is going okay. Archers rout off the Marauder Horsemasters before they get attacked. They're still chilling. They're shooting at Chaos Warriors, and Imrik continues to take a little bit of damage, but he has all of the support. Chaos has nothing left to support them. I kind of get it. Like, part of me wanted Imrik to path out of here and get back up in the sky where he's safe, but they can path out too. So I think he's just staying down here to at least keep these guys in his infantry for as long as he can. He knows he's essentially doomed. A point-blank blue fire cast was attempted from the Chaos Sorcerer of Tzeentch, but it didn't really work. And now Valkia is trying to path her way through. There goes his point-blank cast. It hits some of the Fireborn. It hits a lot of the infantry, and everybody's leadership is dipping, besides the Rangers. Archers are firing at anyone who's thinking about rejoining the fight. They're just trying to dissuade that leadership, and Imrik gets to refresh his charge bonus on Valkia, then throws down Lord of Dragons. She does not have Demon Shield up right now, which is making her extremely vulnerable. She's taking a lot of damage, but she's also dishing it back, and all these High Elves are so low on leadership. Blue Firecaster is trying to get back up into the sky where he can maybe check out some blue fire, and who's a better target? Is it Imrik and finishing him off, or is it the blob of infantry? It's risky to shoot at the blob of infantry, because if the blue fire takes a dumb angle, you're either going to miss them entirely or hit like one unit. He goes for the blob, and it gets some shots down, but not enough to really get a ton of damage out. Imrik's down to 1,000 HP and falling. The Fireborn continue to fight to the very end. Archers are rejoining the fight in melee. And Chaos has nothing coming back. Bounce Power is still in their favor as the Tzeentch caster routs Imrik and is walking him off the field. The Fireborn are thinking about leaving, but Valkia does not cause terror. She just causes fear, so there's no terror routes. One leadership on these guys. They're coming back. They're charging into Valkia. They get about 50 damage on the charge. They're still trying to keep her in all of these infantry as Imrik is getting chased down by the Tzeentch caster. If he dies, this game is like over. But Valkia goes down too. She routs away. Rangers beating her up. She is infantry size, and Rangers have a bonus versus infantry, and they're still healthy enough. They're the only unit that's on this map that's healthy enough to have the martial prowess. So they have +2 melee attack, +12 melee defense. Imrik, 42 health, gets run down and killed by the Tzeentch caster. In that sense, I mean, the archers look like they're already routing, but there go the Fireborn, there go the Spearmen. And a blue fire comes in from the distance, trying to save Valkia and just rout off all these guys. Balance of power is very much in the Warriors of Chaos favor still, as the White Lions, 0 leadership, managed to hold. Valkia looks like she's gonna die. And Chaos isn't getting anybody back either. These Chaos Warriors are 0 leadership, and if Valkia dies, it'll spike down, and they'll just not come back at all. But the Tzeentch caster on his disc is feeling good. He's gonna chase off the Fireborn for now. Valkia gets tickled to death by the High Elves. 25 HP. She is dead. And it is 1 versus many. White Lions of Krace rally only to rout again. He's going to chase off Spearman. I'll ×2 speed while he's just chasing stuff. I'll slow it down if he fights somebody. There's a blue fire onto the Rangers. Actually gets pretty good damage out. And then a big charge in from him. They still have martial prowess for now, giving them 37 melee defense. And they're trying to swarm in on them, but their leadership is falling apart. They're so low on leadership. The White Lions are also here. The White Lions are important. They have armor piercing against this guy, and he's large, unlike Valkia. The Rangers don't get any of their bonuses. So the White Lions are going to have to do a lot of the work here, as he still has shields. Some Spearmen, some White Lions. Those White Lions should be able to come back. Spearmen look like they're going to rout off the map. The Chaos Sorcerer Tzeentch finally lost his shields. He is mortal once more, as he fights away on his disc, getting chopped out on all sides. I'm going to try and keep his stat card on the side here for us. But he is stuck in the fight. And it looks like he's just not getting a lot of damage on these White Lions. Their health bar has been really low for a while. He's lost about 500 HP since we started watching him. White Lions, 15 leadership, 44 on the Rangers, which is a little concerning, and 12 on these other guys. His leadership is dipping now, down to 14, as he is surrounded, flanks exposed, exhaustion, all these things. His leadership is completely falling apart, even though the balance of power is very much in his favor. His leadership's just not going to hold, as the White Lions continue to beat up on him. They're taking very little damage in the meantime. He's taking about 1,000 damage since he landed, and his shields. If he has a blue fire, even a point-blank blue fire would be nice to lower these guys' armor and give them a bit of a leadership debuff just from getting hit with a spell and, like, I think being on fire. Maybe as a little one. He's plowing through all these White Lions and stuff, but they're not taking that much damage. His leadership falls to -20, and while the balance of power is still in Chaos's favor, the game ends, as the Sorcerer Lord cannot just conquer all of these White Lions. Valkia with 2,800 value, 2,500 for the Tzeentch caster. Both Manticores getting close to paying for themselves. Chaos Knights did mixed value. Skirmish Cav did mixed value. Overall, not great. Chaos Warriors did fine. Marauders did fine. For Segos, Imrik did fantastically. Fireborn did well, while the Alien Reavers struggled a bit. White Lions did pretty well. Rangers, honestly, well, okay, if you average their 2, they didn't even pay for themselves because they're 650. Or are they 600? I think they're 650. Maybe they got 600. Okay, if they're 600, then they together paid for themselves, just barely. So, meh. Archers did well. GG. Roar. Subscribe, yes, yes.